What's up, everyone? My name is Tranquilo95, and I'm here to talk to you guys about this year's New Japan Cup 2023. Now, as I'm recording this video, the New Japan Cup already concluded on March 21st. By now, those of you watching the video, you guys already know who won the New Japan Cup. I'm not gonna say in this video. I will talk about it in a different video. This video is basically to give you guys my thoughts about the New Japan Cup. I'm gonna be talking about the New Japan Cup matches from night 1 through night 4. I'm almost halfway done with the New Japan Cup. Right now I'm currently watching the night where Jeff Cobb takes on Evil, and what else? Oh, Will Ospreay faces Mark Davis, which should be a fun match. Let's see. Let me get on my thoughts real quick. Besides that, like, what did you guys think about this year's New Japan Cup? So far, I've been enjoying it. You know, I read that some people didn't enjoy it that much. You know, I respect people's opinions. You know, maybe some people thought it could have been better. You know, when it comes to pro wrestling, you know, everything could always be better. You know, so I can understand that, but for me personally, I've enjoyed this year's New Japan Cup. I've enjoyed the undercard tag team matches. I've enjoyed the tournament matches for the most part. Honestly, I can say that I'm enjoying this more than last year. Last year's New Japan Cup, they had way too many participants because they had like 48, 50 wrestlers in the New Japan Cup, which in my opinion, I thought that was too much. It was overkill. There were too many shows, too many matches. At least this year, they kept it only to 24 wrestlers. You know, for me, you know, I'm kind of old school. For me, less is more, so I'm okay with that. And I'm hoping for this year's G1 Climax, they go back to having 20 wrestlers in the format. I understand that right now in Japan, the roster, it feels more stacked. There's a lot of wrestlers. They have, you know, in Japan for the most part, they have a great roster of wrestlers. You know, they have a roster full of guys that can go. And yeah, you know, when the G1 Climax is when they only have 20 wrestlers, you know, it makes it harder to choose, you know, who should be in the G1. You know, last year they did the whole 4 different blocks, 7 wrestlers in different blocks. You know, they wanted to include more wrestlers. You know, which I can understand that, but I'm hoping for this year they keep it traditional, 2 blocks of 10, 20 of the best from Japan. If they want to include 1 AEW guy, I'm okay with that, but you know, that's just my opinion. So yeah, let's talk about the New Japan Cup. So night 1 of the New Japan Cup, we had Tetsuya Naito facing El Phantasmo, and we had Sanada facing Taichi in the main event. So the semi-main event was, we had Naito defeating El Phantasmo with a roll-up. Last year they did the whole story of, you know, having Naito go into the finals of the New Japan Cup, beating everybody, including Okada, with a roll-up. And it looks like this year they're gonna do the same thing. The match was fun. It was very fun. It was their first ever singles match. Could it have been better? Yeah, it could have been better. It could have been perfect, but not every New Japan match is gonna be perfect. It wouldn't surprise me if they face again in the G1 and they have an even better match. El Fantasmo, he lost, but every year his stock keeps on growing. To me, he kind of resembles Kenny Omega, not just because he's Canadian, but there's just something about him that reminds me of Kenny Omega, but back when he was a cleaner. But with that being said, El Fantasmo, he's his own man. I'm shocked that they didn't position him as the next leader of Bullet Club, because it seemed like they were going in that direction. But from the looks of it, they're gonna have someone else be the leader of Bullet Club, which I'll talk about it in a few. With that being said, this was a very fun match. Definitely got the Kurikan crowd hyped. And moving on to the next match, we had Sanada defeating Taichi in the main event with a new finisher. Basically a new DDT variation of a finisher, which he debuted in this match. So, I'm gonna be honest, at first I wasn't too into this match. I like Sanada. I'm a fan of his, but sometimes he can be hit or miss. Sometimes he'll pull out a great performance, and then sometimes he'll kind of just go through the motions. I'm not saying Sanada's a bad wrestler. The guy is he has the look. Sanada has basically everything that New Japan wants in a main event guy, but that all depends on Sanada. Got guys like Kota Ibushi, Will Ospreay, Jay White. They all became world champion before Sanada because, they all stepped up. Hell, even Evil, they made him double champion and not Sanada. And it makes you wonder, will Sanada ever get to the next level and be world heavyweight champion? Be one of the big four in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Time will tell, but for the most part, this was a good main event. Sanada Taichi, I always enjoy their matches. I enjoyed this match too. To be honest, I was expecting Taichi to win this match. My pick to win this year's New Japan Cup was actually Taichi. After his performance against Will Ospreay during the New Beginning tour, I was hoping Taichi he would win the New Japan Cup this year, but sadly that's not gonna happen. It is what it is. Taichi is still one of my favorites. Besides that, there's not much to say about the match. I did like the story of Taichi trying to motivate Sanada to put up a good fight, and they ended up having a really good main event. Not spectacular, but it was really good. And they're kind of teasing an alliance with Sanada and Taichi. Right now Taichi has a stable just 4 guys with Taka, Doki, and Kanemaru. But what if just 4 guys become just 5 guys with Sanada? What if they tease Sanada leaving Los Ingobernables de Japón to join just 5 guys? That would be very interesting. There's something happening between Sanada and Taichi. Now that Taichi has separated himself from Noru Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr., makes you wonder, will we see a new tag team form between Sanada and Taichi? I think that would be a very interesting team for World Tag League this year. So let's see. Now, moving on to night 2. Okay, night two of the New Japan Cup. It was actually billed as the 51st anniversary show, which overall I thought it was a very good show. I really liked some of the tag team matches. The tag team main event with Goto and Yoshihashi defeating Okada and Tanahashi, that was a really great main event. Really great tag team main event, tag team wrestling all around. I'm hoping one day they'll have Okada and Tanahashi win the IWGP Tag Team Championships. It wouldn't surprise me if one day they have those two team up for World Tag League. You know, if they really want to stack up World Tag League this year or sometime, having Okada Tanahashi be in that midst, it will be very interesting. But yeah, talking about the New Japan Cup matches from night two, we had Shota Umino defeating Yujiro Takahashi. The match wasn't bad. It was passable. Yujiro Takahashi, he's one of those guys where there are times where he's shown glimpses of him being the wrestler that he used to be back then. If you were to watch his old matches, Yujiro Takahashi was a beast. He was a workhorse back then. Like, if you was to watch his earlier matches, he actually put up an effort. And, back then he was considered a young hot prospect as a singles guy. And now, he settled down his role of being the number two guy in House of Torture. Sometimes, occasionally, he'll give you a good singles match. This match, it was passable. But Shota Umino won. He needed to win. Him and Ren Narita, they're the two young hot prospects who are gonna get the big pushes, to move to the next level. Shota Umino, he basically has everything to be the next ace of New Japan Pro Wrestling. And the same thing goes for Ren Narita. Ren Narita, he may not have the look or the flashiness of Shota Umino, but Ren Narita, he can go. Both Shota and Ren Narita, they both can go. And in my opinion, the sky is the limit for them. So it's going to be interesting to see where the career takes years from now. Moving on to the next New Japan Cup match, we had David Finlay, who is now a member of the Bullet Club and possibly the next Bullet Club leader. He came up with new theme music, new look, kind of looks a little bit like Jay White, but differently. And he defeated Tomohiro Ishii in a very hard-hitting match. This match was very hard-hitting from start. Definitely one of my favorite matches of the New Japan Cup so far. Basically on the top 5. Tomohiro Ishii is awesome. Ishii, he's been one of my favorite wrestlers since I started watching New Japan Pro Wrestling, and even though he's never gonna get the recognition he deserves, he's always, he always brings the best out of anybody, and he can literally have a great match with anybody. The man is just, he's tough and hard. He's what he says he is, and yeah, this was definitely one of my favorite matches of New Japan Cup so far. I kind of had a feeling that David Finlay, he was going to join the heel faction. Bullet Club, it makes sense, him attacking Jay White on his last night in New Japan Pro Wrestling in Bound the Valley. Now it makes sense. And they're telling the story of whether he made a deal with Ghetto before that happened. They're also creating friction between David Finlay and El Fantasmo, which could possibly see El Fantasmo get kicked out of the group. Let's see what happens. But David Finlay being part of Bullet Club creates a whole new dynamic. Makes you wonder, is he gonna be the new leader? What's gonna happen with Juice Robinson? Juice Robinson, he's still part of the Bullet Club, but he's in AEW. Is David Finlay gonna kick him out too? Who knows? But I'm curious to see where David Finlay goes as basically the next leader of Bullet Club. Let's see. Okay, moving forward on to night 3 of the New Japan Cup. We had Mark Davis defeating Toriano in a match that was fun, but went on for too long. Toriano, I don't mind him. I don't mind his comedy matches, but sometimes his matches, they go on for too long. I prefer his matches when they're short and straight to the point. Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher, they have been awesome for this year's New Japan Cup. They're a great tag team, but as wrestlers, they can go too. We also had Evil defeating Ren Noria with shenanigans, which I kind of expected it to happen. I see Evil winning a couple more matches, but I don't think he's gonna win the New Japan Cup. Well, I don't know what I'm saying. I already know who won the New Japan Cup, but I'm curious to see how far Evil goes in the Japan Cup. Let's see. And now night 4. So far, night 4 has to be my favorite night of New Japan Cup. We had Kyle Fletcher defeating Yoshihashi in a very fun match. Very competitive, very hard-hitting. Kyle Fletcher, this man, someday he will break out as a singles guy. Holy crap, that match, I knew it was going to be good, but it was a lot better than I expected. So far, my 3 favorite matches of the New Japan Cup have to be David Finlay versus Tomohiro Ishii, Kyle Fletcher versus Yoshihashi, and Aaron Henare versus Shingo Takagi. I kind of expected Kyle Fletcher to beat Yoshihashi, and I'm guessing that Aussie Open, they're going to be next in line to challenge Goto and Yoshihashi for the IWGP Tag Team Championships. Also, Goto and Yoshihashi, I've been saying their tag team name wrong. I thought it was Bishamon with a B, but they said on commentary that it's Fishamon with an F. So I guess I've been saying it wrong. My apologies. But the match was very good. And in the main event, we had Aaron Henare defeating Shingo Takagi. To some people, that would have been an upset for me. I was expecting it. I see Aaron Henare. I see him challenging Shingo Takagi for the KOPW Championship. That will be a hard-hitting match. Now, with what stipulation the match could be, I'm not sure. Maybe 2 out of 3 falls. Hopefully not an MMA rules match, because we already saw that with Shingo and Great-O-Khan, and that match wasn't all that. So yeah, Aaron Henare, I've been dying for years for him to get some big wins. Back when he was Toa Henare, but I'm glad it's finally happening. Last year he beat Tanahashi in G1. This year he beats Shingo Takagi. It's always fulfilling when you watch wrestlers develop and grow in New Japan, and you see them slowly get big wins and slowly move up the card. It's something very fulfilling for me. But Shingo Takagi, him losing does not hurt him. He's still Shingo Takagi. He's still one of my favorites of all time right now. And he's still the KOPW champion. So, I do see him possibly winning the G1 this year. Shingo Takagi, I could see him as a possible winner for this year's G1. Aaron Henare, will he win a singles title this year? Maybe the KOPW Championship? It could happen. So, yep. So far, those are my thoughts about the New Japan Cup, night 1 through night 4. Right now, I think, let me check what night I'm on right now. Okay, right now I'm on night 7 of New Japan Cup, so I'm almost done. I'm a little bit behind, life sometimes gets in the way. And also New Japan, sometimes they do a lot of shows at once. So when it comes to Japan Pro Wrestling and watching other wrestling, it can be a little overwhelming to keep up sometimes. But I'm gonna keep doing my best to give you guys these types of videos where I just talk about New Japan and give you guys my thoughts, my review, my opinions. So let me know in the comment section what you guys thought about the New Japan Cup. Take care. Thank you for watching and listening. Love you guys. Appreciate y'all. Peace.